Hello everyone, welcome to Mental Health Awakening 2, and this is the last episode, this episode is called Mental Health Awakening 2 Unleashed. So, which means this is the very last episode of the series. So we just had the reunion episode yesterday, and today we're gonna share our thoughts on how the series went. It's gonna be a shorter episode than normal, because we're just gonna wrap it up and we're gonna talk a little bit about maybe what we think about what could happen next after. So, Angela, I don't think we need to do it. You can do an introduction if you want, but I think most people know who we are.
Yeah,
So
you're
really,
right.
so really, how do you think the series went?
I thought this was an amazing series. It was awesome. There was a variety of topics from our guests. Some of them overlapped and some of them were brand new. I know several times you stated that I don't think we talked about PTSD, or I don't think we've talked specifically in depth about depression or things of that nature, but there was so much that was brought to the table. And as I've been saying and highlighting as we've been posting and sharing information, we had another group of greats from the UK and from the USA. I was very impressed with the content and the information that they brought to the table for everyone to listen to and to learn from.
Yeah, there were so many different people. Like not as many as we did in the first series, but there's still loads of people. I guess it was better that we done it this way, so it's not an episode every single day. Um, Maybe we should do that in the next one. Right, we do. But yeah, I like PTSD. We had some fun. We did have some funny clips. Didn't we? Like PTSD saying that loads of times. Um,
5 times.
well, but yeah, we had so many. I think we had suicide, like with people, like family members, like people losing family members, or like we had one about marriage. We had all sort of different ones, and it was good. But like we had maybe some similar episodes than we did in the first series, but they're all different because they're their own different people's stories.
Yeah, very unique. They were all very unique. And you know me, I like to highlight the things that make us smile and things that make us laugh. And there was a lot of laughter, even from each of the guests, even though we were talking about situations that may have been traumatic, that may have been heartbreaking in the moments when they happen. But to hear how people have been overcomers through their situations, have healed from certain other situations, and now they're strong enough and bold enough to come on a podcast like this and share their stories. So it's all been amazing.
Yeah, and since I think we've done the first one, there's been some people have started their own, I think, podcasts as well. I've seen, so it's
Yes.
yeah, it's good. It's good that people have decided to do that because it's not easy. I didn't need any of my help, so they've done well. So yeah,
Hey, maybe I may need your help when I decide to start one.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But yeah, I think we had so much fun with everyone who came on. Although not everyone did come for the reunion, but they had their own episode, and everyone had a unique episode.
Mhm.
Um, and maybe we should add like I don't know if people want to be involved still in Mental Health Awakening, we can invite them to the group chat. Maybe it doesn't just have to be the reunion people. Maybe we can invite some of others that weren't in the reunion for Mental Health Awakening too in the group chat we have. Um,
Absolutely.
um, because just so everyone is welcome if they wanna be there, or if they don't want to be there, but that's fine. But I don't think they'll say that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Even though we had a smaller number of guests this year, there was still growth. And that's important with any project, any podcast. I'm sure you're experienced, so you know. So even though we had maybe, I'm just going to say 20, I feel like we had more than that the first season, right? The first
mm,
series. And there was maybe 8 to 10
Yeah.
this time around, but look at how much more sharing took place. Look at how much more people have been involved with the post and actually watching and the views, and not necessarily about the numbers itself, but the reach, the impact that it's making for Mental Health Awareness Month. You know, raising the awareness, giving some people resources, things that they can use in their lives during this month and throughout the years. Maybe
Yeah.
it's something that they put in their saved file, but this is information that they can go back to when they need it on YouTube, or either to listen to it on all the podcast platforms. So valuable information here.
Definitely. And I think there's not as many, like, of course we didn't have as many as, like you say, we had about like 20 older guests in the first series. Even more than that, I think in the first series, so we're going to stop here, but we didn't. We kept on going to find other people. And on this one, like, we only had, like, together, I think we had 8 each, I think, didn't we? 8 guests in total of the series. And then we only had 2 from this Mental Health Awakening and 2 from the first one. So a lot of them couldn't make it, which is good. So, like, it's understandable. It's good that amount of people we did have a mini reunion, because, like, if we didn't say let's join them together, we wouldn't have really a reunion, really.
Right.
Would we?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Awesome. So would you say that you have, out of Mental Health Awakening 2, would you say that you have a favorite episode?
I did like Amy's one, you know, with PTSD, because I just found that funny. I kept saying it. I did like that one. I wouldn't want to say I have a favorite, because I don't want to upset anyone if I don't say them.
You're right.
But if I had to come across maybe a funny moment, I would say that one was the highlighted one. And I found it funny when you made a video of it, like it's a news
Yes.
thing.
You know what? You're right. When you start name calling, you don't ever want to leave anybody out or frustrate anyone. There was another funny clip, but it wasn't from Mental Health Awakening. It was from one of the Communities Unite episodes.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah, but with the skydive.
Yes, it was right after you did the skydive. So we had a guest, Shay Knight.
Oh yeah, I remember that you shared that clip. I remember that about the bungee jump and everything. I think all was laughing.
Yes,
We all was laughing at that one.
she was talking about her friend that swung through the canyon, and that was another hilarious clip. So you can expect that from me every time. I'm always looking for the humor. Those are the kind of things that I highlight.
Have we had any other ones like that in Mental Health Awakening too, other than
I've got
PTSD?
to go back and
Have to have a look. Yeah.
If we have, I will highlight.
Yeah. I think it was good. Like, do you like going back to Mental Health Awakening 1, and then we got Mental Health Awakening 2 now? What do you have a series that you prefer, or do you just like them both?
Oh wow. Oh my goodness. So as far as the series, right? Of course, we had more information. And like I said before, this one, we didn't have as many guests. So it gave us a little bit of time to relax and maybe tend to our own mental health a little bit. But I think Mental Health Awakening 2, it feels like it gave me the opportunity to allow the episodes to soak in. So I really had the opportunity to fully listen. And then if I had questions, if there was feedback, if there was information to pass along, I really had time to really comb through it, cherry pick, pull information out. Whereas the first series, I felt like it was we were limited for time, and we were recording day by day by day by day, and getting them out. And boy, I was hanging on by a thread. I know I probably upset you a couple of times. I almost forgot. My schedule was so tight. So as far as like order and the system of it, I like Mental Health Awakening too. But guest wise, I can't pick a favorite, because
Yeah, they're all
that's the
good.
only way I can describe it. We've just had two groups of greats. Everyone has brought themselves fully to the table, and whether it was something we could relate to, like chronic illness, health, physical health, and mental health. Um, oh my goodness, we even had a viral sensation. We've had CEOs, we've had therapists, we've had educators. So we've had a wonderful group of guests on
Yeah,
on both series. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I think so as well. Like we had more. I guess we had more time to prepare for this one than we did in the first one, because I think we started much earlier on Mental Health Awakening one. Like I think end of January, I think it was. And I think at the start of January actually was when the idea came about. Of doing a series or something. Because it's very important. And yeah, like, do you think that we should do another series?
Absolutely. What do you think? I think this is the highlight of Mental Health Awareness Month. While the world focuses on mental health issues, advocacy, showing up, supporting others, sharing resources, and then figuring out how to get mental health care. This series, Mental Health Awakening itself, is a contributor
Yes,
to Mental Health Awareness Month. It
yes,
contributes greatly.
yes. It definitely is. So for the next series next year, do you think there should be same amount of episodes, or do you think we should do less, or
Oh,
more,
wow.
or
You know,
more?
I would say the same. I wouldn't say less. I know we were on the verge of doing a few more than this time,
Um,
but much less than last time.
I think our plan at the start of this one was to do 5 episode guest picks each, didn't we?
Hmm.
But we did 4 because we couldn't. Well, it's not that we couldn't do it. It's just we was running out of time to find the
Hmm.
last 2 guests. I think. So yeah, maybe we could try do the 5 guests like we did. We were for this series, but if not, we'll just stick with the 4 guests each, like last time.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I think it would be cool to request some recommendations from some of our former guests. They may know some
Yeah,
other professionals and influencers who would be great contributors to the next series.
maybe. Yeah, I think maybe we could mix it up. Like we could have like female and males, like switch it between, like so it's even. Um, so I don't think we have. Did we have a male guest this year, or didn't we?
I know I
No.
didn't. I didn't have a male guest. Now the
Yeah.
first one, oh my goodness, we had a lot. I don't know if it was an even split.
Yeah, I don't think we was that even this year. But maybe we could make it a little bit more even next year. It doesn't really matter.
Hmm. Hmm.
But maybe just so other people of different abilities or different communities have their
Oh yeah.
chance.
Oh yeah. So for the first series, right off the top of my head, I may not be able to name them, but I know we had at least 5 males.
Hmm.
And you men bring a different twist to conversations about mental health, because men are more restricted
Yeah.
There's, as you talked about some within this series, there's a stigma there as it relates to what's acceptable or unacceptable for men to express as it relates to mental health or their emotions or situations or circumstances around feelings itself. So men do bring value. So I like that you brought that up, but
Yeah.
right off the top of my head, I can think of at least 5. We had at least 5 guys
Yeah,
the
we
first
did.
time.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe we can. So sometimes when I pick guests, sometimes I look if I have someone on for just an episode not involved in the series, because sometimes I'll just do the odd episode. Um, really. And then I think you've been on before. You can go, do you want to come on again, talk about mental health awakening?
Mhm.
For example, like Connell or Kitty, who we had on, who
Yeah.
I went to school with them. Like, I think Kitty's been on a few. She went on an autism series I done. She went on the Communities Unite series, and then now she's on here. So Connell's been on a fair few times as well. Where we've got an episode with him coming out. I think right next week after this episode. This is I think
Mhm. Mhm.
first Monday of June, where it did a special episode where we won't talk about it much here because it's mental health awakening. Although we do speak about a lot about mental health, but it's like a special episode, that one, which is really cool.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. Ready for that. Ready for
uh,
that.
that one is. So within the third series, thinking ahead, like do you think we should do anything new onto this one? I told you, or anything new we should add on to it? Do you think?
I'll have to think about that.
Yeah,
Like I said, I believe we've had some growth. We've added some things along the way. We've, you came in strong with the awesome updates to the graphic. Um,
mm,
the everyone contributed their bios and pictures. I believe they were full bios this time, where some of them were short, or it could be up to them really. I don't
yeah,
know if that's a change or not. But
yeah.
yeah, I think I'll take some time to think about it.
I think a thing we could add is a name. Like, I know we got Mental Health Awakening, but like a subheading or something. Like, we got Mental Health. It will be called Mental Health Awakening 3, and then we'll change it so it has a 3 on it. But I think we could maybe call it something like Mental Health Awakening 3 Reborn or something like that,
Yeah,
because
or
it's like
the trilogy.
yeah, like you could put Reborn.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
I think that might be a good one to do. Um, but I mean that could be the name of the first episode as well, like the introduction. The introduction episode that we normally do. Um, but yeah, I think that'd be a good idea. And then
Yeah.
and then yeah, and then it'll be good. But do you have let's say how many series do you think? Do you think this should just be a yearly thing we do, or do you think one day we'll decide we don't want to do it anymore?
Oh my goodness. So you're the tech person on that, but when it comes to mental health, you're asking a licensed therapist.
Yeah,
So I'm always going to err on the side of being present and showing up. So as long as we're able to collaborate and invite, I like the idea of having something special for Mental Health Awareness Month. And,
yeah,
while you were talking, I was thinking about maybe after we, after the recordings or after the episodes go live, maybe there could be some type of reception, kind of a hybrid type of reception where uh, the guests from the UK meet up, maybe for lunch or dinner or something, and
yeah,
maybe those of us who in the US, maybe meet up. Maybe there could be some live streaming between the two,
yeah,
figuring out a way to broaden it a little bit. Yeah.
yeah. Get some tots made or something.
Yeah, yeah. Getting a little vision here on that.
Yeah. Yeah, like we just some sort of merchandise or something that we could do, or maybe have the logo on it. Like, of course, every year is going to be different.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
we'll have like, the addition of 3, and then we could put reborn because it is kind of going to be reborn.
yeah,
Or we could do a new name, like
yeah,
same name, but just put reborn in it. I just like the feeling of it because it is like it is reborn because it's doing it again.
yeah.
Um,
Doing it again.
yeah, yeah,
Absolutely. Well, I think something that might be a nice touch is promoting it sooner so that it builds up more anticipation.
yeah. But how do you think? What could we do to promote it sooner, do you think?
Videos, um, or maybe a certain song with the logo, kind of like what you post, or even um, something that might say it's coming, or we're back, or stay tuned, and maybe clips of previous episodes
Oh,
from
yeah.
the series. If we share, because you do a great job sharing um, little teasers or clips. So maybe if we started a little sooner, not necessarily bumping heads with the planning as far as the recordings and the new guest, but maybe starting
A trailer
starting a
maybe.
little bit of a, yeah, like a
Yeah.
campaign where we just start sharing the YouTube um, links and telling people to get ready for, whatever. Maybe you have a special time where you launch the new name or the subheading or something like that. So
Oh yeah,
I think
that's an idea. Like because we said reborn, no one's going to know what that means. Well, if people listen to this now, they will, but this time next year, probably not. Um, like so, we could have something. I don't know. I don't want it to be of a baby or something. I don't know, but that could be the case. That'd be really funny, Like
I
say
thought
no,
about
no,
that.
no. Do you know why? Because people will think you put like a graphic, make a graphic like of a baby, and then people think, wait, what's going on? Is it not podcast related? Because sometimes on page don't do everything podcast related. But so I think that'd be a good way to
We'll,
announce it.
we'll play that idea out a little bit. I
Yeah,
think they would laugh at us.
yeah, that would be funny. And I said
Mhm.
we're super proud to announce. I'm super proud to announce something coming in May, and then like I can't wait. And then that's gonna be so funny.
That's right.
Yeah, but that's only one idea we could do. There could be multiple, so we have meeting beforehand, of course.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
We won't reveal too much more. How about
no,
that?
no, no, we don't want to do too much more. But another idea I had was like because we only it's like a yearly thing, isn't it? Like mental health awakening in May,
Hmm.
but there is a day in I think October that is mental health awakening, and not mental health day, like mental health awareness day. So we could
Oh
have
yeah.
a special episode that we do in October, like this year, for example. So like we could bring everyone back as many people don't want to come back and then just sort of have a catch up, like it'd be a mental health awakening. So it won't be a mental health awakening 2. It will just be a mental health awakening. We just call it mental health awakening, recumble or something like that, or just
Reborn.
yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
We don't want to use reborn because that'll be for next year, but
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah.
we could use it the long like the mental health awakening over the years, maybe. That'd be a
Oh
good one.
yeah.
Mate,
Oh yeah.
over the years, because that would be the first and second one. So even though people didn't have their chance to come back for the reunion episode this year, or if they didn't get the chance, we look back of who was involved in Mental Health Awakening 1. And we look back on those episodes, so who came. So one episode, I think, every year in October we should do. Just so we're not making it just so it's in May. We can do have
Right.
maybe it offers a chance if they like names to pop into my head. Like you've got Connell who couldn't make it. You've got Shay who couldn't make it. You've got Kitty, um, you've got April
Charlotte.
Harris, you've got Charlotte, you've got so many people. You've got Amy. Like these are only people I realised have written Health Awakening 1 and 2. Sorry, and then from 1 we had some other people. We had a lot of people that came for the reunion Mental Health Awakening 1, but it would be like maybe Danish who was on
Yeah.
there.
Demetria.
D-
Yeah.
Demetria who couldn't come today. Deborah Weller who couldn't come today. So all them, it'd be good. So we have one big kind of over the years episode this year, but it'll be a different thing every year. So like
Yeah.
say we'll have by this time next year, in October, of course, like there'll be so many more people. I would have thought like an extra, at least an extra 8, or maybe an extra 9, or even 12 people involved. So like we don't know. I think that'd be a good idea just to do something in October.
Yeah.
cele-
Yeah.
to celebrate and highlight mental health awakening.
Hmm. You know, I think even having a little bit of a different dynamic as far as maybe there's a family that would like to do sort of a group episode, whether it's a mom and maybe a teenager, or maybe it's 2 siblings.
Yeah,
Because when I think about families that I work with, and I know in one of the episodes I mentioned group, sometimes there are experiences that are unique to maybe blended families, unique to young adults or teenagers, especially, you know, if they're old enough to consent and share their story itself. And, you know, I went to a couple of weekends ago, I was at the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation walk.
yeah,
And so there was a man that shared his story, but not only did he share his story, he shared his daughter's story. And she's 16, 17 years old, and they both had the same condition, similar experiences. So he spoke first, she spoke next, and they did a partnership in the way they presented. So that might be another idea. Is we've had a lot of professionals that have personal stories about mental health.
yeah.
There might be a family dynamic or a family group that would like to share their experience and maybe how um, certain situations came up for them.
Yeah, I think so. And what I'm thinking of my mind is this year in October, we could have 3 specials. We call them specials because there's not going to be a series. Add
Maybe a
on,
special.
yeah. So we call them Mental Health Awakening specials, and we could do this every year. For the win this year. Because like the first 2 times it's just been in May, and then like we have been involved in doing a different series, not Mental Health Awakening. But I was thinking maybe in October, whenever that falls. So either you could do it the day of Mental Health Awakening Day, and then 2 days after, or you could do it weekly, if you wanted. Like I'm not sure. Do you? I mean, we record them earlier than that, but I'm thinking like, do you think with these specials we would release them leading up to it, or on the day? Go. I was thinking maybe we could do it one after the other, but do you think that would work? Like you release it on Mental Health Awakening Day, and then you do it the other 2 episodes after the next 2 days.
Hmm. That sounds like it would work. I guess we would
Yeah,
have to see what your schedule looks like. I know you have so many, sometimes different series back to back, but if it's a
yeah,
special, I don't know if you would want
yeah.
to do.
I at the moment, like I always plan what I do on the podcast at the start of every year, so I have a good plan in my book. So as far as this year is concerned with the podcast, so this month is May. So in June we have some episodes. So at the start of June we have some memory episodes. So you've got Connell's memory episode, and we got someone else who has Crohn's, has a memory episode. Then we just have a few other episodes. So I have a series I'm doing called with some people from Australia that I mentioned in the reunion episode. that is like a monthly one. So not every single month, I don't think, but that first episode of that is going to end of June. So having some episodes in June, not really doing anything in July. So I'm having a little, like I said that I have a little break in July. And then in August, what I'm doing is, because I did a series last year, a Doctor Who in Autism series. So basically I had people who have autism, like just talking about Doctor Who because of a lot of relations. And then something that I like to talk about and do. And so that first part of that, so there's going to be 2 parts. So first part was single episodes for that celebration series in August. So maybe like 6 episodes or something. And then in November, skipping to November, there'll be all the group episodes leading leading up to that 60th of Doctor Who and relating autism into that too. So that'll be then. But my October for October, I don't really plan to do much. So other than that, I would do. Well, I've missed September, haven't I? But I'll go back to September in a minute. So for October, I normally do a Halloween special. So in my mind, I've got the person I wanna have for that October Halloween episode. And then I don't really have any episodes really, other than I think the 3 specials that we could do. And then
Okay.
in September, I'm gonna do, I think, 1 episode. I do 1 episode of, I'm thinking of doing a birthday celebration episode, because it's my birthday and I know someone else had the same birthday as me. So I thought that
Hmm.
we'll just have a fun time, like celebrating our birthdays, and just talking about things that we like to do. And then I have another one actually. I'm doing a recording in September with someone. I might just release that one day after or something. So really for the later part of the year and December, not much planned. Maybe just do a few New Year's and Christmas episodes, but not much planned there either. So that's my plan. So really for this mental health awakening, um, this is why it's already planned before we've even started. But this is a good addition. So we have, like, we've done it in May, and then we bring it back for a couple of specials in October, celebrating Mental Health Awakening Day. But it's evolved around that. And what, maybe celebrating what people are doing, maybe talk about what people are
Yeah.
doing. Like like you said, like we could have 1 episode that of a family that haven't been on here before. And then we could have like 1 singular episode
Yeah.
with a new person that hasn't wants to share their journey. And then we could have like the years of people who have been on already.
Hmm.
And then yeah, I think we could start it, the first special, on Mental Health Awakening Day. Or not Mental Health Awakening, I keep saying Mental Health Awakening. There should be a Mental Health Awakening Day, shouldn't there? So the first special would be whenever it is, in October. Um, and then that's over the years of people who want to come back, um, from the 2 Mental Health Awakening series that we've done already. And that's evolving anyone. So we can look back and ask people, and we can make it as big as we can, so everyone has the opportunity. So it'd be like a panel kind of thing. So everyone has the opportunity to talk about something they want to talk about. So we could have a topic, perhaps. We could pick a topic around mental health
Yeah.
that we
Yeah.
want to talk about, as well as highlight in Mental Health Awakening Day. And then yeah, and then we have a family on second day, and then on the last day, um, we can have a singular episode or something, something along
Yeah.
those lines, maybe, just so we could have something else to do this year.
Awesome. I like it. I
Yeah,
like it.
you finished good.
I think that's awesome. I think that's awesome. I thought about when you were talking about what we added, and then we were talking about growth. So we added some consistency with the emergency and crisis numbers
Yeah,
that came up in a certain episode, and we just continued to do that. I think that's a nice touch, especially considering um, the
yeah,
whole nature of the series itself.
yeah.
So,
I like that addition. I like that addition. Right. Speaking of them, do you want to say them again now?
yeah. Absolutely. So we have been sharing the suicide and emergency crisis numbers for the US. It's 988. Use that number. There is a licensed professional that is waiting to answer your call, to sit with you, to talk with you, to walk alongside you. You don't have to suffer in silence. Also, for the UK, the emergency number is 999 or 112. And I have a long list of those, and maybe I can even post them in the comments. And a lot of other different countries, 911 is still the main emergency number. But for Canada, well, for Canada, let me say it that way, it's 911.
Yeah.
You can text the word in all caps, deserve, DESERVE, to 686868. You can also text these emergency numbers if you need someone to chat with in a high crisis mental health situation. For South Africa, it's a 5-digit number, 10177. Now that, let me say it, that's for the ambulance. For the police, it's 10111.
Yeah.
New Zealand is 111. Germany, 112. India, 112. And Australia, 000. China, 110. Argentina, also 911. And let's see here. I think that does it for the ones that I have on my list. And, you know, someone may be wondering, why do you have all of those numbers? For someone who lives in Tennessee, the USA, why do you have all of those numbers? Because anytime I have to create a safety plan for a client who is having suicidal thoughts, suicidal ideations, or has a plan to attempt, I want to make sure I have all different types of emergency numbers on hand. I even have emergency helplines for domestic violence, for homeless families or individuals. So yeah, I just try to make sure I have a lot of the resources on hand. And that's kind of why I developed
Yeah.
a resource and community group outside of me offering professional services, because you never know when a person needs the resource.
That's right. That's completely right. And I think it's good. Then we could, every episode we do, we continue doing this. I think it's very necessary when the topic is around mental health.
Yeah.
And another thing I just want to say to add on for the next time we do this, I think, like with the green screen. So that, yeah, we get a green screen made. We get a new setup of the logo for the specials, which we'll do in October, and then we get another setup which we can send to each guest who we pick for next year when we do Mental Health Awakening 3. And yeah, do you think it's good that we keep saying like each year we do it, we change the name to Mental Health Awakening 2, then we change to Mental Health Awakening 3? Do you think that's a good way of doing it?
I do like that,
Yeah.
because it basically numbers the series.
Yeah, I think so. And me thinking of this reborn, Men Have Awakening 3 reborn is good, because if you think about it, we've done those specials and then we'll do these pretty early in 2024. So yeah, so to anyone who has enjoyed this series, or you're watching this episode, we hope you've enjoyed it as much as us. We've met some new people through it, met some new friends. And we've got a good community going through this series, especially with the group chat, and that will be expanding soon, because we'll be adding it. But if you do want to be involved with a mental health awakening series, like series 3 next year, or you do want to come here to share your story, which can be involved in the specials, Mental Health Awakening specials next year. Well, not that next year, sorry, this year in October. But of course, we will be sharing this and doing them much earlier than, well, a little bit earlier than when the episodes go out. It's just so enough time so we can create graphics and stuff like that. But from me and Angela, we will see you. We will see you in October. Ready? Like, I think there's a new idea that I sprung to mind. But it's a good one. Just so we don't have to say we'll see you next year, but we'll be seeing you this year, late 2023. So in October time. But from me and Angela, we will see you next time. And we hope you enjoyed Mental Health Awakening too.